Hi friends, it's Heidi M, and I thought I would sort of share my short list of films premiering at this year's Toronto International Film Festival. The idea is that I'm going to highlight about 10 or 11 films here for you, but my full short list is available on my website, highmusings.ca. The short list incorporates feature films, short films, and also what are called primetime or series episodes, which I think is kind of interesting to catch, especially if they're not showing in Canada very soon. So, without further ado, I'm going to give you about 11 films that I think you should put on your lists if you haven't done so already. And they're in alphabetical order, so there's really no hierarchy here, and they're from different parts of the world and different formats. So let me start with Alazar, which is a short in the Shortcuts program number 5, and it is by Bessa Hailu Lema, which is a moving story, a drama that follows the mysterious disappearance of a family's patriarch's body from its grave, and sort of the questions that come up in the farming community where that patriarch is formed in Ethiopia. Next, I have a feature film called Beloved Tropic or Querido Trópico, which is set in Panama City. The film sort of follows the connection that develops between a pregnant Colombian immigrant and a well-to-do matriarch who is living with dementia, and sort of what sort of unfolds between the relationship with these two characters. This film is by Ana Endara, who's known for her documentary work, and this is her first narrative feature. So I'm very much looking forward to that, and it's called Beloved Tropic. Next, I have Daniela Forever, which is the latest film from Nacho Vigalondo, who's known for his film Colossal. And it stars Henry Golding as a bereaved man who enrolls in a clinical trial for a drug that allows him to reunite with his lost lover, played by Beatriz Grano, through lucid dreams. I think the synopsis sounds kind of interesting and very kind of sciencey, which is up my alley too. So that is Daniela Forever. I also have From Ground Zero, which is the combined work of 22 artists living in a besieged Gaza Strip. And this film provides a contextualizing and critically important look beyond the brutal live stream that we're been witnessing daily for a long time. And this film, this sort of, I guess, film by 22 artists, is organized by the Mashawari Fund for Films and Filmmakers in Gaza. So it's called From Ground Zero. Next, I have another short from the Shortcuts program number 2, and it's called Mercenaire en français, or Mercenaire in English, and it is by Pierre-Philippe Chevigny, who's also shown his other shorts at TIFF. And in this film, Marc-Andre Grondin delivers a really great performance, which is about a drama that features a man who was recently incarcerated, is now back in his city, and is trying to reintegrate into a society that has almost no place for him. And this is not a new story, but I'm always keen to see how filmmakers are telling us these stories, and I appreciate Pierre-Philippe Chevigny's work quite a lot. So that is Mercenaire in Shortcuts program number 2. Next, I have another feature film called Pedro Páramo, and it's by Rodrigo Prieto, who is known as a cinematographer for the likes of Martin Scorsese, most recently in Killers of the Flower Moon. And this is his first feature film, which is set in an abandoned Mexican town where past and present coexist, and is described as a mesmerizing story of desire, corruption, and inheritance. I'm really curious about how Rodrigo Prieto will move as a cinematographer into the director's chair, so I'm definitely much looking forward to this one. Pedro Páramo is this film. Next, I have another feature film called Pimpinero, Blood and Oil, or Pimpinero, Sangre y Gasolina, which is set in the early 2010s. And it's a thriller by director Andres Baez, also known for his work in Narcos. And it takes place in the treacherous desert bordering Colombia and Venezuela, where gasoline smugglers, also known as Pimpineros, risk their lives transporting illegal fuel. I think it's a very interesting premise, and I'm interested in seeing how filmmakers tackle these topics, of course, that are relevant to those of us from Latin America. Next, another short for you is called Quota from the Shortcuts program number 5. And it is an animated short from the Dutch team of Job, Joris and Marieke, who return with a wickedly funny parable that suggests an extreme means of getting people to think about their footprint on this world. I love animated shorts, and I took a quick look at this one, and I think it's going to be quite interesting for some of you. So that is called Quota. Next, I have a Midnight Madness selection. Yes, I love Midnight Madness films. I don't see all of them, but I think this one might pique your interest as well. It's called The Shadow Strays, and it's from action filmmaker Timo Janto, and he's been to TIFF before. And the film The Shadow Strays follows a young assassin who breaks rank from her clandestine organization to rescue a young boy from gangsters with violent repercussions. You know, it's a Midnight Madness movie. It's going to be intense. It's going to probably include a lot of actions and perhaps be bloody, and you need to be okay with that. And I'm looking forward to adding a couple of other Midnight Madness to my list. So stay tuned. I also have a documentary for you, which is called Vice is Broke. And Eddie Huang of Huang's World undertakes a first-person investigation into how Vice went from scrappy Montreal indie magazine, which I know very well, to media giant. And in this documentary, he interviews former contributors who were crucial to its rise and then witness its downfall. I think it's going to be a very, very interesting documentary, and I'm not sure if he has distribution here in Canada, but I'm very much looking forward to seeing that with the public. I think this is one of the films that I will see in a public, with a public audience instead of a press audience. And lastly, I'm going to leave you with another feature film called Went Up the Hill, starring Dacre Montgomery and Vicky Creeps, who sort of are part of this atmospheric ghost story that explores the legacy of loss and dark family secrets, and is directed by Samuel Van Grispens. And I'm really interested in sort of stories that are sort of genre, but not necessarily full horror stories. So that is Went Up the Hill, and I'll tell you how much I like it or not. If you follow me on social media, I am at High Musings. I'll make sure I write it in the description of this video, and you can find out if I got to see all of these films, if I get to see any more from my volumes 1 and 2 of the shortlist at TIFF this year. You know, fingers crossed I get to see maybe half of those, and leave me some comments. Let me know what you're looking forward to seeing. Also, let me know what you're adding to your list that is last minute. I'm always looking for other options. Sometimes your schedule changes on the day. The festival is 10 days long, and that means we need to have some flexibility, especially if we don't have tickets for all the films we want to see. And also another plug for TIFFR, TIFFR.com, in helping us organize ourselves and creating these shortlists. Again, my website is highmusings.ca, and I hope I see some of you in line.